Welcome to Out of Touchstone on YouTube. We're continuing to take a look at the films released by Touchstone Pictures in 1995. Touchstone kicked off the year with the underperforming thriller Bad Company, and even though they only released 6 films in 1995, they released their first 2 films just 2 weeks apart. So while Bad Company was falling out of the top 20 at the box office, Touchstone executives were sure that 2 pranksters would bring the audience back. This is the Jerky Boys.
Only in America could 2 lowlifes from Queens
What are you doing? Oh,
touch a nation so deeply
Watch this.
oh, I got hemorrhoids bad.
as the Jerky Boys.
Why don't you come here and show me your toolbox? Who the hell is this?
Frank Rizzo, open your ears, jackass.
God bless America.
We're the best. Tough guy, sizzle chest.
My job.
That's the sickest thing I ever heard in my life. I like it.
The Jerky Boys, the movie.
Your mother's very proud of you.
Rated R. Starts Friday, February 3rd.
Even though Touchstone Pictures distributed the Jerky Boys, this is actually a co-production with Caravan Pictures. Now, how did Caravan and Touchstone and the Jerky Boys get together? Well, first, who are the Jerky Boys? The Jerky Boys are the comedy duo of Johnny Brennan and Kamal Ahmed. They got popular by making prank phone calls and recording them, then releasing them on bootleg audio cassettes. These audio cassettes ended up in the hands of Howard Stern, who would play them on his popular radio show. Then producer Joe Roth at Caravan Pictures thought, hey, if these guys are popular on the radio, pretty sure the audiences will pay to see them at the theater as well. He signed them to a deal in 1994, and thus the Jerky Boys movie was born. Who did the producers get to star alongside Johnny and Kamal? The cast is made up of a criminal's role of, hey, it's that guy actors. First up is Alan Arkin. Arkin had roles stretching back to 1967. In the 5 years previous to the Jerky Boys, Arkin had roles in Edward Scissorhands, the internationally distributed by Touchstone Pictures, The Rocketeer, Glengarry Glen Ross, and the Touchstone Pictures film Indian Summer. William Hickey plays Johnny's uncle in the film. Hickey also had roles going back to the 1950s. Notable films include One Crazy Summer, Sea of Love, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and the Touchstone Pictures release The Nightmare Before Christmas. Alan Arkin's main right-hand man in the film is played by Vincent Pastore, probably best known as Big Pussy in The Sopranos. His roles prior to the Jerky Boys include Goodfellas, New Jack City, Carlito's Way, and the underrated Touchstone Pictures Christmas movie, The Ref. Notable cameos in the film include Tom Jones and Ozzy Osbourne. Directing this collection of talent is James Melkonian. James doesn't really have a lot of notable titles on his resume, however he is credited as editor on the first movie to feature Jean-Claude Van Damme, No Retreat, No Surrender. When examining the films here on Out of Touchstone, we like to look at the positives and the negatives. So let's start off with what we call the popcorn perks. The movie clocks in at around 85 minutes with credits. That's more than enough time for a film like this. There's no big life lesson moment or getting upset with each other and having to reconcile to drag this movie on longer than needed. For those who grew up before caller ID was everywhere, I guess this movie could evoke emotions of making prank phone calls and make you think about your childhood. Did I mention Tom Jones and Ozzy Osbourne each have a scene in the movie? They don't really add to the plot in any way. I'm just trying to find some positive in this film. Those are the perks. Now, what about the unpopped potential? Even at 85 minutes, the story is thin enough to see through. Playing versions of themselves really wasn't a stretch for Johnny and Kamal. I'm curious how they would have done if they were given actual characters to portray, since they play characters in their prank phone calls. I like to look at the original reviews the films got upon release, and normally I try to stay with Roger Ebert because he is one half of the top duo of reviewers from the time that these films were released. And shockingly, there was no archived review by Ebert on his website, but the film did get a quick review on the Siskel and Ebert television program, and Gene Siskel said that if this film was a hit, it showed that the audience didn't care about quality. Ebert countered by saying he saw a Saturday matinee with a bunch of people that looked like Jerky Boy fans, and all he heard was, man, that film sucks. Anybody expecting anything other than 2 thumbs down from Siskel and Ebert? What's the official Out of Touchstone verdict for the Jerky Boys? Well, if you're renting this on a Friday night at the video store, I'm guessing you either 1, have some extracurricular activities planned for the evening, or 2, there's just nothing left on the shelf. Why would anybody take a chance and make a film on the Jerky Boys? Obviously, their 15 minutes of fame was nearing the end by the time the film came out. But if you look over Hollywood's history, there are a lot of films made that if people would have waited 6 months later, probably would not have been made. Vanilla Ice made Cool as Ice. Andrew Dice Clay made The Adventures of Fort Fairlane. Heck, even American Idol gave us From Justin to Kelly. You know, probably should have came up with 3 better examples, because all 3 of those films, they get the Out of Touchstone seal of approval. Hey, what can I say? Sometimes you just like a bad movie. Anyway, that's going to wrap up this episode of Out of Touchstone. Next time we look at a film that is probably more relevant to today's society than it was 30 years ago when it was released. But until then, tapes are rewound, video stores closed, and we're out of Touchstone.